What's happening, everyone? Happy Halloween. And as is tradition,
yes,
I'm joined here by Zuke himself.
Yes. I don't know if it's by popular demand or by default, but I'm here.
It's popular demand. It's always popular demand.
Indeed, indeed.
So obviously, Halloween just around the corner. We both got our costumes on.
Yes. Came skeleton.
So the everybody talks about like the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what have you this year particularly? What have you got through so far?
Movie wise,
or just your favorite one? We got to get into that.
You know what? Well, I'll tell you one that I just recently saw, and I saw it when I was on an airplane. I took a flight a couple weeks ago. Sinners. Have you seen that one?
No.
Sinners. It's like, I guess I didn't know what it was about, but I guess it's like it's a vampire type movie. Like, you know what I mean? And it was pretty good, but it takes places in like probably like the 30s, 40s, 50s, like that time. So, you know what I mean? Like having people like bootlegging and, you know, the whole like beer, moonshine and all that whole thing was going off. But like these people, like there was these black folks and like they played music and stuff, but then it was like these other people, but it was like the devil, like vampires that came in. But it had a pretty good spin to it. And I thought that one was good. What else have I seen? You know what? I feel like it hasn't been too many good movies this year that's really dropped, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, any kind of new movie, I mean, they're few and far between.
Yeah, it's a toss up.
Like I had a guy on the show, I think it was probably last episode, and he's like a movie critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying he doesn't watch the slashers or anything, but I told him like, well, what about like the classics like Ernest Scared Stupid? Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
So I said that and I was like, man, I gotta watch that. I rewatched it, rewatched Ernest Scared Stupid, and it's like it scared me as a kid.
Yeah.
That movie and Killer Clowns from Outer Space were the only two movies that I ever got scared of. I mean, slasher movies is whatever, you know, but those two movies, and I come to find out like they use the same suits, like the same puppets in both of them. The clowns were the trolls.
Oh.
They just reused that same costume.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And it's like, damn, that makes sense because those are some creepy costumes, especially for a kid. Like, it's kind of like a kid's movie, right?
Exactly.
But damn, like,
yeah.
No wonder. And so I saw it again. And it was like, they kill the things with milk.
I forgot about that. That's hella funny. I mean, of all things, that would, who would have thought that? And it's funny watching those things as an adult. Like you said, it scared you back in the day, but then when you watching it as an adult, it's like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? You get a second look about it. You know what one scared me back in the day was, you remember the movie Clowns?
Clowns?
Clowns. It was, I believe it was called Clowns. It was just like these clowns. It was like in a circus and like, but like these clowns were like these like killer clowns, but they were like real clowns in the circus though. You know what I mean? But like that thing always scared me. I was probably like 10 or 11 years old when this movie came out. But like you said, I watched it again. And then when I seen it like as an adult, I was like, oh God. You see the kind of corny kind of old school movie play and stuff in it, but it's still good because you know you gotta love that classic stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, and then there's something to be said for like when they used puppet things instead of the CGI or
exactly.
You know, now could be AI.
Oh God, I mean, who knows what it is these days? You know what I mean?
Like
when I'm even scrolling online, like I'm looking at it, it's like, how do I determine what's real? It's like you see something that might be amazing, but you be like. Then you go to the comments and everywhere they're like, this is AI, it's AI. So it's like,
well, couple months ago, you know, it wasn't that long ago where it was pretty easy to tell. You'd be like, this person, their arm disappeared or they have a sixth toe or, you know, like they tweaked a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can see the imperfections per se. You know
but
what I mean?
Now it's like, God. And then they show all these like pictures of the 3-eye Atlas thing. And it's like a bunch of lights and going like this. It's like, okay, but really? I mean, I honestly don't know what to believe.
My thing is, I mean, the 3-eye Atlas thing, I've been following that myself. So, like, I know a little bit about that. But, like, I feel like with that, we have to think that's a NASA module. NASA's already secretive in a way. So, they're not, I feel like whatever pictures it's depicting, we're not getting we're not getting the good ones or, you know, the real ones. They're going to let us know what we can have and what we can't have.
Yeah.
So I feel like people doing all that stuff, it's like, you're just reaching at that point, because it's like, but I do feel like with the 3-Eye Atlas thing, I feel like it probably is something that needs to be, looked into. I wouldn't say that, but I don't think it's something to fear. I'm a fan of, like, I believe extraterrestrials,
sure,
are real, and we have a vast universe. I feel like, so things like that, and they say it's an interstellar comet, basically came from another galaxy. So that, who knows? You know what I mean? So it's just that type of stuff. It's but I think, like, with the pictures and stuff, people, it's, you got to understand, we're only going to get what they want us to have. You know what I mean?
Always. Yeah, that's why you kind of just have to be patient.
Exactly.
Because once you're, just be patient, and then they'll tell us what they want us to know. Mm-hmm. And then we just have to make our opinions on that. Mm-hmm. Either way, though, it comes now with a sense of, like, but is that really the thing? Is that really? You might want to get your mic just a little bit closer there.
Oh. Ooh, come here.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
But, because people are saying, like, people always say, oh, well, pretty soon the landing is going to come and the government's going to tell us and this and that. It's like,
yeah.
It seems like the cards are stacked against you if you just want to live a normal life.
You know what I think? All of that boils down to.
Cheers, buddy.
Yes, indeed. Cheers, man. Let's, it's Halloween. But I think all of that, what it boils down to is, like, fear. And I think that the society that we live in, they've learned how to just kind of feed onto that fear and have people in, because most people, if you tell them something, they're going to believe it. I've never been that way. I've always been like, if something doesn't sound right, I want to do my own research to look into it, to see for myself, to see whether I can say yay or nay. But I feel like the fear factor of, like, when people say things and they'll be like, oh, it's going to be this. You have to, like, dig deeper, I think, like, within yourself. And I feel like as far as, like, it goes back to, like, just like a life thing, because, like, it goes back to frequencies, because if you can intact yourself with the frequency of life, like, then you can know that some things aren't going to be the way you want to, but that it's going to be flowing, everything's supposed to have a natural flow per se. Mm-hmm. So I think, like, people have to start just opening their minds and stop being fearful, because I think it's just like, it's embedded in us to fear things, as we're born, you know what I mean? You just fear. And I feel like if we can get rid of that, then we'll be like, you can think differently, because I always tell people, like, most things that happen when you fear things go wrong. Most people be like, oh, well, why is this happening to me? Or what do I do now? And I try to tell people, like, well, all you have to do is really change your thought process and be like, when it happens, say to yourself, okay, this happened. I can learn. How do I learn from it? And what do I do to fix it? Mm-hmm. Instead of, being upset and things like that. And so that's what I mean by aligning yourself and things of that nature.
Yeah, because your emotions will cloud your judgment. Exactly. And it'll just make it worse.
Exactly.
You'll just make shittier decisions.
Yeah. Always, always. Yeah. Because a wise man once told me, he said, you want to respond and not react. He said, because a response takes thought. When you react, it's out of emotion, like you say, in emotional things never usually end up good, especially, we're men. So, we get emotional and, it usually clashes in a bad way. It never
naturally.
Naturally, so, but you know what I mean? So, but, the response takes thought. So when you think about the things that you're going to say, and just like, the power of what you say, I don't think people understand that too. Like, what you say becomes what you are. So I feel like you have to put that out in the universe. And a lot of people be like, oh, well, that's this and that's that. But it's actual reality. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I feel like people, you just gotta get rid of that fear, Yeah,
it's, for me, I think that whole alien thing, I think it's more of anticipation. Like, I think I will be, I might be disappointed, when I find out, like, who they are or what they are. It's like, man, because I know I'm going to get let down. I know they're not like Star Trek. They're not like Star Wars even, it's like, they're not that cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, well we actually do wear the skin suits, and we are most of the politicians. You know, like man, God, that's.
Well, do you believe
Such a
in
bummer.
they say there's a thing? Do you believe in the thing? They say that because I'm going to go back to the Roswell thing.
Yeah.
So with Roswell, they say that back then they actually captured some live aliens, and they captured them and kind of kept them in captivity, and they helped them along the way, like as far as like with wars and things, and gave them knowledge and things of that nature.
Yeah.
They say, and they even have a name, I think. Like, so matter of fact, that movie, they made a movie about it.
Independence Day, right?
No, Seth Rogen played the alien. I think it was called the alien had like just a name. It was just George or Greg or something.
Oh, wait, you're not talking about that show, right? Where one of them's a reptilian, one of them's like the blonde guy.
No, it was a movie. It was these two kind of like British guys, and they were like alien followers, and then like they come and they meet this alien, and the alien is like Seth Rogen is doing the voice of the alien. But the alien's like escapes from Area 51 because, you know, he supposedly was there helping them, this, that, and the third, and somebody that he knew was helping him. But that's like it's supposed to be based upon a true story. Like they say that they, you know, kept the alien and then he was helping them do things, you know, advancements in the world and things of that nature. So I don't know. I mean, I'm an open book. So I feel like there's a lot of things that can be possible. I don't try to, if something doesn't sound right, I feel like that's not a red flag. That just might be a more thing. Pay attention. You know what I mean?
It's just something else to figure out.
Exactly.
But I hope that if there are aliens, I hope they don't sound like Seth Rogen.
God.
I'm hoping it's more like Benedict Cumberbatch or something.
Yeah.
Like don't be like years and years smarter than us and sound like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Come on.
Hey, yeah, we don't want Seth Rogen voices, but we want something that's comfortable for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's said that they that they communicate like telepathically or something, right? Mm-hmm. But if you think about it this way, you know, civilizations have like come and gone every like 7,000 years or 11,000. There's a certain time when the Earth just like tweaks out and it just like, now the poles are this way. Mm-hmm. You know, now Antarctica is on the equator. It's tropical. Or something like that, you know, and it was before. It was not always up there before, you know, and when these things happen, like the Earth kind of stops turning for a second, but everything else on Earth is still turning because of the force of it, right? So the waters right now, we're turning it like we're going 1,000 miles an hour, you know, but everything is going 1,000 miles an hour.
Exactly.
And so when the Earth stops and the water and the air keeps going 1,000 miles an hour, that's pretty much it, you know, unless you could be like underground or underwater. And that's two of the places that they say that these like underground bases are. And so that would be like, damn. So a while ago, a long time ago, then there could have been a civilization that figured it out. Well, we got to be down there. And they've just been down there and they come back up. And it's like, oh, watch these guys are going to eat shit again, you know, or like the first ones, they figure out how to get into space and they just keep coming back, you know, something like that. But, and if you think about it, you know, because there's stories that say that, aliens use human beings for like breeding or something because they can no longer naturally breed. Right. But if you were stuck in space, and you had like unlimited science, right? If that's even a word or a thing. We had unlimited science. So you could figure out how to clone yourselves and do that to like keep yourselves going up there. But to get any kind of genetic diversity, you got to come back here, you know? And so that's probably why they don't have any, you know, they don't have any like private junk. They can't like reproduce. They kind of like are androgynous looking, you know? And so...
Well... I wouldn't say that per se. I would, what I believe is, so what they say is just a long, we're talking a long time ago. So this is the theory. Well, I don't want to say it's a theory, but so are you aware of the Sumerians, the ancient
Oh, yeah.
Sumerians? Okay. So on the Sumerian tablets, they speak about basically the Anunnaki,
Yeah.
who basically they say that they came here they basically, the theory is this, that they were working on Mars, I believe. Like they say that they were working on Mars. And they, the Anunnaki and these are like an ancient, highly advanced civilization. And they were working for like 2,500 years, like doing things on Mars. And they were like, we're these ancient, beings. Like, why are we doing this? Why can't we, let's create.
Probably wanted to unionize.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do something like create basically like some slaves. So basically, so they were on Earth as well. So then when they came to Earth, there was, I guess, a humanoid. It wasn't us per se, but some type of humanoid. And then they said that, okay, let's, splice and we're going to mix our genes together basically so we can create some slaves that can work for us so we don't have to do the work. You know what I mean, per se. So, and that's what they say sparked humanity in humans in that thing. So I feel like them not having reproductive like organs or anything like that, I feel like they do, because we're probably products of them if they say that they came and worked on us on a cellular level. You know what I mean? So if those things are true, then, which I believe to be true, personally. So if those things are true, then I feel like then we have, our because they've figured it out that we have a thing called the God gene or the pray gene. What makes you want to pray, and they say that was put into us for us to worship. Because they always say you don't want any product that you have, to think that they can be more superior over you, and you want them to praise you and things of that nature. So, well,
there is that's actually, it's in the Bible, not but like one of them, right?
Yes,
and it's only in the ones that the Ethiopians use.
Yes,
right, and that was supposedly where the Ark of the Covenant is or was in Ethiopia, but it talks about like Enki and Enlil and how they got like a disagreement, and one of them mated with a human. And I can't blame them.
Yeah,
but
I know, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. They said they came down here and they're working, and then they seen the women and they started to they started mating with the women because they seen them. They look good, of course. It's.
Can you imagine what kind of busted ass bitches they got all across the galaxy? If these guys are traveling stars and they're like, oh yeah. Look at this.
I thought about that. You have to think. If it
they got big booty Latinas here.
If it was that far back along, you have to think it's not now. So even that far back along, what actually did they look like? That was I always thought about it, because it's like, how bad were they? Because was it judged off just a big booty and a shape? Because I feel like the looks probably weren't there. Because it was
possibly,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just on a sense of how far long ago it was.
Because they were kind of, and maybe that's kind of gross, because they were kind of like hairy and
exactly. And,
like
I was just I'm glad you said that, because I didn't want to say it, but they, pretend they were hairy because they were different humanoids, but so they were hairy, so things were different, and then. So, that's got to be a freaky dude to be like, man, look at this little hairy, thick, cut,
goblin-looking girl.
You imagine telling your friend, bro, you see that little hairy little thing over there right now? I'm trying to see what she do right now. So, you know what I'm saying? So that had to have been crazy back in the day. You know what I mean?
That could be that just, that could be why Seth Rogen had the voice, because back then, all their females just looked like Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't blame them to come in here.
Exactly. It's like, we had slim pickings, guys, so we come down here and you guys got these fresh morsels and we want all of it. So we don't care about intermingling. We will make it happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
When you put it like that, it's, can't blame them, but you kind of can.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was supposed to be, so the way that the planets formed, they kind of formed in pairs.
Yes.
So like, Venus and Earth were formed. I don't know exactly how Mercury, but Mars was formed with it being a moon from our other planet. I think it was I don't remember the name of it though.
Tiamat.
is it Tiamat? I've heard Tiamat. I've heard Ceres. I've heard Nibiru. And then there's I've heard a different name.
I've heard too as well. Yeah, there are many different names. I'm familiar with Tiamat, so I believe that it's Tiamat which was, and then they say that Tiamat in another thing crashed, which is what created our moon that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We have two now.
We have two moons.
We have two moons now.
Okay.
For a limited time only.
What are the two moons?
Well, it's our regular moon, and then there's this one that's far away that is it's far away from us, but it's close enough to us to where it's in our orbit.
It's
for a little bit.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Here we go.
I mean, see, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like things. I mean, just the nature of life itself. Things creeping in, and then my thing about like things like that. I think about something being that far away, but still catching a gravitational pull or it's catching some type of life field, and coming in our section for a while, and it may drift off and do its thing, but
could be.
Yeah, exactly. So I just that alone, I feel like it's like such an interesting thing. That's what always had me think, like had me to have like a different outlook on things, like, cause like I was the type of, oh man, my mom used to hate it because like my teachers, I would get in trouble in school because it's like I would challenge the teachers in ways that they weren't used to because, they would say things and I would be like, well, that doesn't sound right. And not only would I say that, but I'd come back with a conclusion and, I'd have like, my little evidence that I would have and I would bring forth to them and they would be like, I don't have a student, 12-year, a 13-year-old student challenging me like this, like what's going on? But, that's always how I've been. That's how I knew that I was, thought on like a different type of like playing field. But
you have the inner monologue in your head?
Yeah.
I have it as well?
Definitely.
Yep. Not everybody has it.
Exactly. They don't. But that's why we've been, we've done 3 episodes. This is our 3rd episode.
Who else knows about Enki and Enlil?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And even when I mentioned the Anunnaki and the fact that that, like, those frequencies right there, those are the type of things that connect good people, you know what I mean, and keep us on a good track.
Scooby-Doo was an Anunnaki.
Enlighten me.
It's actually canon.
Okay.
So let's there was a movie.
Yes, enlighten me, please. This is the type of knowledge I like. And speaking of that, see, like movies, I always tell people, pay attention to movies.
Yeah.
Like, even like as far as like Star Wars, people don't know that the man who made Star Wars, he read the ancient tablets, the Force and all that stuff. That's all in the Anunnaki ancient tablets. Like a lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? You have to, when you do your research and you notice like these people read these things that come from real life, and then they make it. And these people see these movies like, oh, this is.
What a great idea.
Yeah, what a great idea. It's like,
wasn't really his.
Where do you exactly?
He just had the idea to make a movie about it.
Exactly. I just made a movie about it. I'm giving you guys real life, what I mean, gems. Exactly.
So, Scooby-Doo Anunnaki. So, a race. Oh, it's Nibiru, I guess. That's what it says on this release.
Living in another dimension every few thousand years during an event called Nibiru.
Oh, it's an event. Okay.
Okay. The barrier between their world and Earth grows weak, allowing the Anunnaki to visit Earth. Some of them are good and tend to help humans, while others are evil. It was revealed that the sarcophagus buried beneath Crystal Cove contains the most evil of Anunnaki. The Anunnaki have no physical forms, so they have to inhabit various animals' bodies. Thus being responsible for mythological figures such as the Egyptian gods, China's Monkey King, and Aztecs.
Quetzalcoatl.
Thank you. Thank you. You seen I needed help on that one. That one was, I was like, oh,
that is
God.
a tough one. It's like, wow.
That was a tough one for sure.
Put some random letters in there?
I was like, listen, is that just the alphabet or what? But among others, it is revealed that the animals that can talk are descendants of Anunnaki. Scooby-Doo is one of them. Okay.
So there's a Scooby-Doo movie.
The new one or an older one?
Older one.
Okay.
Crystal Cove urges Scooby-Doo to destroy it.
I don't know. Scooby-Doo. That's crazy. I never knew that. That's
Scooby. Oh, it's Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. I think, is that the one?
That's a newer one, isn't it?
It's this one here. Yeah.
2013.
Yeah, 2013. So it's not the. It is canon though.
Yeah.
You know, at this point.
Scooby-Doo. So this basically incorporates the Anunnaki and things of that nature inside this series. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it makes sense because it's like, how do they always understand him talking? Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't just Shaggy and they were just lit, that he was like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which sometimes my dog will talk like that. But
yeah.
I mean, Fred could hear it. Mm-hmm. And Fred was only on blow.
Exactly.
You know? So, and of course, Thelma could hear it. She was always methed out. Mm-hmm. You know, but the fact that they all could hear him, it makes sense now because it's odd to think like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Makes sense though.
Exactly. And then, I mean, anybody that knows anything about Scooby-Doo, you're thinking he's speaking gibberish. You know what I mean? That's all you really hear is just straight gibberish.
Yeah. I mean, I when I heard that, it was like more people are trying to tell us something.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's almost like they have to tell you before they show you. You know? Like there was a movie that came out before 9/11 that was about planes using a terrorist attack, or planes hitting the Twin Towers.
Yes.
It was in a, I think it was an episode of the X-Files.
Yes. I remember that. I remember that.
It may not have come out, but it was like there was a script made, and it's like, hold on.
Exactly. Like
hold on there.
I mean, just everything. Just even with like 9/11, like you have to think stuff like that. Like I tell people to this day, like I don't know. I've seen a lot of things, but when I seen that, and when it happened, what 2001?
Yeah,
I was a junior in high school.
I was a sophomore.
Yeah, I was like a junior in high school. So I was, you know what I mean? Like, and I remember I went to school and the teacher was like, oh, it's, I don't know what's going on. It's not safe. And I told her, I looked her in the eye, I said, well, if it ain't safe, I need to go home. You know what I'm saying? So and she was like, oh, that's fine. So I went home that day. But as I got older and I looked at it, I was like, this looks like a demolition.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. And then you can hear
allegedly,
exactly. You have to say that allegedly. So, but when you see things, you can, like, when you go back to some of the stuff, like you can hear bombs like going off as if, you know, like a demolition, like, and then if a plane hits a building, I don't understand how it doesn't fall over to the left, you know, any type of direction. If it falls in on itself, that means that layer after layer of the not concrete, but the steel foundation had to have been blown away. Well,
and if you look at Tower 7, that nobody talks about, but if you look at Tower 7, they said that it collapsed because of the debris from the thing, right? But there was a British newscast that said that Tower 7 had collapsed already, like 2 hours before it hit, right? Mm-hmm. And it collapsed the same way.
Yes.
You know, it collapsed like level by level by level by level. Mm-hmm. And, but damn, good thing they found that guy's passport, huh?
Yeah.
They found the terrorist passport.
Yeah. Listen, out of all the chaos, we found a passport. Listen, I can't find my keys. I couldn't find them this morning.
They found it quick,
but
too.
You guys found the passport in the mix of a plane hitting a building. You found a passport. That's convenient.
I mean, we should all be flying planes made out of passports.
I mean, God. I mean, listen, I want the black box. because you guys didn't give it to us.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah,
but
that's
the passport.
long gone.
The paper
the
passport.
is important. The black box was never found. We don't know what happened, but the passport is here, which just depicts a name we can blame.
Well, we could start by looking at that guy who took a day off that had never taken a day off, the owner of the buildings.
Yes.
And he had just taken out an insurance policy, and it was like they valued him at like, so he would have got like 1.5 billion or something. Mm-hmm. And he said, no, they're worth more. So this is, to any normal person, it's like, no, you want it to, because then you have to pay less in insurance. Mm-hmm. You know? But no, I want them worth more.
Exactly.
And if one building gets hit by a terrorist attack and the other building gets hit by a terrorist attack, then I get double the money. Mm-hmm. You know?
Which is what it boils down to, is money. And it's a horrible money game, but I don't know how they do it. But I mean, just that whole thing, like, just like, it's criminal. You know what I mean? Like, but people that, like, I feel like they do that a lot. And I feel like it's a lot of things that are hidden from the American people. And I feel like the blindfolds. So probably right now is the best example of us living in the Matrix. So we've all seen the Matrix, right? So now is probably that's probably the best explanation I can give to people, is we're living in the Matrix. And the majority of people are still in your capsule. Mm-hmm. You know, there's not a lot of people that chose to get outside of the capsule and look at the situation differently. You know what I mean?
They're NPCs.
Exactly. They're NPCs. They're NPCs. Exactly. Man, I'm telling you.
I mean, that's the thing, right? You kind of, it's like, did we all just took different pills?
Yeah. I mean,
you can tell the ones that took the same one you did.
Exactly. You can tell. And that's the thing. And it's like, but then you can tell too, it's not enough people that took the pill that you took. Yeah. And it's starting to become a plague of people that are just inside this box. You know what I mean? And I want people to wake up out of that box. Like, because I tell people all the time, like, I'm a Muslim. That's my religion. But I tell you, even my religion, all the time, I was like, religion, it does nothing but separate people. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a horrible thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, why?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I feel the same way.
Yeah. So it's like, why do we have to, just because I feel like this, why do we have to be so separate? Because people look at, you look at this person and be like, oh, they think that way. Like, they're, like, oh, God, like, I mean, and I always look at it like, well, we're all of God. We're, who cares? We're all of God. So, and everybody has the choice to be an individual. That's what life is about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You being an individual is what makes the world turn. Mm-hmm. So if we didn't have that, we would just be stagnated in the same thing. Like, who wants that? You know what I mean? Like, so we need these vast, personalities and all this stuff. Everything makes the world turn. You know what I mean?
And if any time there was the incentive to be an individual, it's now, because AI can create anything. It can create, the virtual girlfriend kind of thing.
Yes.
And it's like,
listen. We're living in a modern weird science. Can you imagine weird science if they made it today? Like, if they, let's say they never made weird science back in the 80s, but they made it today based on the technology that we have, it'd probably be some old she'd be teleporting from another universe, probably coming to, you know what I mean? So it'd be like, so it's just like the things like that, like, that's literally like what we're living in. Like, the AI thing is like putting people in like this thing to where, like, and just like, people don't understand, like, it's about to take your job. We can't, I just seen something where it said AI.
It's not going to take your job.
Yeah, not my job. You can't, it's physical work.
It's not going to do. AI doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. But I seen things like AI, they depicted some codes off of like some like not some ancient tablets, but they like decoded them. But then my thing about that is like, okay, even with the AI, it had to be programmed
Right.
to know, to be able to know how to depict something.
It's just the sum of human knowledge.
Exactly.
Right
So like that's how I look into it. I was like, so how are you like, even you had to be, the program itself had to be programmed for you to depict something. You're not just going off of, just random thought. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, so how can you say that you depicted this now and you guys didn't know it then, but you made the program and now all of a sudden the AI figured it out. So, but I don't know, but that's, that's the world we're living in.
I think it also has to do with the amount of time something would take to figure out. Yes. They've used people have used AI to communicate with like whales. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing in itself that has some cloudiness.
Yeah.
Whales are not whales, but whales and dolphins, sketchy.
Which are very intelligent mammals.
They used to do dolphin births. Did you hear about that?
Dolphin births?
Yeah. Apparently it was like really good for healing the mom and the baby or whatever. Apparently. I don't know anybody that's ever done it. I didn't even think about doing it, but apparently the cetaceans or what, like the dolphins and the marine mammals, they can communicate telepathically, or they have some kind of frequency that can communicate with us, right? It's why killer whales don't kill people, and that kind of thing. It's just, and then now it's illegal, right? But I mean, was it that popular? Like, who was like, we have to make dolphin births illegal? And who got up on there and like was like, we need to pass the dolphin illegal birth bill?
I mean, that's crazy, because I've actually, I don't know if you know this, but like, because you know how you can go to like Caribbean places and, you can get in and swim with dolphins and stuff. But if you're pregnant, you can't swim with dolphins, because once you get into the water, all the dolphins will surround you and make a circle around you, and no one else can come in and break that circle. They'll like attack you because they're protecting. So if a woman doesn't know that she's pregnant and gets in the water, with dolphins, and they start surrounding her, that's how she'll know she's pregnant. She'll be like, okay, but they don't let people break into her. You know what I mean? They don't. Yeah. It's like that's them protecting her, because they feel that faint heartbeat of the baby in a womb. They can feel that, and then it's like now they come into the protective mode. Because so I always thought that was like a very interesting thing about dolphins, like in like even whales and stuff, like because them, like it goes back to what I was saying earlier, like they work on frequencies. You know what I mean? Like that pitch and then that noise they make, that's an actual frequency that, you know what I mean, that you can read, you know what I mean? So that frequency, you know what I mean, which life I feel like is all about frequencies, because it's just like, I forget what it's called. But
that's kind of like the theory behind things like anti-gravity. It's the theory behind like the Nikola Tesla, the energy generator kind of thing, where it's wireless energy. It's the frequency of things, and like nobody really talks about the frequency of things.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
It's not something that's very explored, because we're set in this mechanical like chips and wires kind of, that's our technology. That's our society's technology. This current world's technology is that. It's not what that was. That was probably the one before us.
Yes, for sure. And like, they say that like, even like, as far as like going back to frequencies, like they say even like your thoughts, they're not even really your own, because it's already been thought of, because it's a natural, like this is science that they've depicted this. When you think something, it lets off a frequency, and your brain lets off a frequency actually, you know what I'm saying, that goes out into the universe. So this frequency goes out into the universe. So not a lot of people can catch on to it, but the smart ones that are like-minded and, are thinking differently, they can catch on to these ideas that are just in frequency in the world. You know what I mean? That's why they always say that your thoughts are never really your own. It's already been thought of because it's floating in frequency. You know what I mean? And then you might think of it and then you catch on to it like, oh, you know what I mean? So, for example, I'll give you an example. They put some monkeys in, they put this group of monkeys in not Africa, I'm sorry, in Australia. They put them in Australia and then, you know, let them do their thing. And I think they set something up to make it to where they can, you know, like gave them a tool to where they can get their food. They figured out how to use this tool. At the same time, they put the same monkeys. They put them halfway across the country. I think it was in like India. So we're thinking Australia and India. So you know what I mean. So this is two far places. They put them over there and gave them the same set of tools. And once the monkeys in Australia figured it out how to use this tool, I think they said it was probably like a week later that the monkeys over in India figured out how to do the same thing. So this was their theory on saying that they caught on to the frequency of knowing, you know what I mean? Like we figured it out, you know, our thoughts are already going out all the time. You don't even know, you know, subconsciously, you don't know that it's happening, but your thoughts are going out as a frequency. So these frequencies went out, they caught on to it, figured it out on their own and, you know, did the exact same thing they did. And I feel like that's like groundbreaking stuff right there. You know what I mean?
That's called morphic resonance.
Yes.
Yeah. And the word resonance itself has to do with frequency, you know, a resonating frequency, but that's it. I've heard about that with rats. I haven't heard about that with, maybe I did hear about that with monkeys, but the rat one is what I always think of because it's like, everybody thinks of a rat in a maze, right?
Yes.
But then these rats were super fast getting in the maze. These other rats had never been in the maze, and they still got through it quicker than these rats did at first. So it's like, are those rats just naturally smarter? Probably not.
Yeah.
They just know because of something that we don't understand. You know? And I mean, how are we affected by that today?
Yeah.
You know, because it's like morphic resonance, that's almost like, gosh, you don't even really need that when we have TV.
Man.
And the internet, that is our morphic resonance. You know, like
sure.
I have never rebuilt a transmission before. I've never seen anybody rebuilt a transmission before. But I watch YouTube and I can do it. You know, it's a rudimentary way. It's like a circuits and motors way of getting to the same spot. But it is kind of like there's something to that. And it's another one of those things that just doesn't really get the attention that it deserves.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, because most people, I think subconsciously, you don't even know when you open your mind to that. You know what I mean? Like it happens and then you be like, but you don't really pick up on what's actually happened. You know what I mean? The actual science behind what's happening. You know what I mean? I think that's part of what makes us human. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot to think about, you know?
Yeah.
So it takes certain individuals such as me and yourself that be like, okay, that may be okay, but let me go a little bit deeper, you know what I mean? So I can see, you know, what's going on for myself. So I think that, but I mean, so it's a thin line, I think, between love and hate, you know what I mean? Almost to where there's people that do it. There's people that's here in the middle. And then there's ones that you see that are like back here and you want to help them. But I've realized the people that you want to help, you still got to realize that you have to let them be who they are. And you can't force anything upon anyone. Right. You know, you have to let them be who they want to be. You know what I mean? And I had that hard growing up as you know what I'm saying, as a kid. Like, well, not as a kid, just like things that I went through in life, like with my brother and people, you know, I used to think like they did things to me and I'm like, well, why are you doing that? Like, we're brothers. Like, why aren't you doing like I would do? You know what I mean? But that was me giving the expectation of thinking that he was supposed to be like me, but not knowing like he's an individual. Right. He can be however he wants to be. I just have to accept whatever it is. So I know that I'm not disappointed in the end. You know what I mean? So like, and that took a long time to learn. And I feel like that's a hard thing that I feel like if anybody can learn that, then that's like the key to life right there. Just, because everybody thinks, you might have a friend doing something and you'd be like, oh, they should be doing this. But I've learned just let them be,
That's their story.
That's their story. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let them live their truth. It doesn't deter you away from anything that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Let them be, in their truth and live how they're going to live. And as long as you're on your path, then, nothing matters.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing. People got to tap into that.
Yeah, that's the world would probably be an easier place to live in if we had that.
Yeah,
and if we,
for sure.
We probably wouldn't get into all these like. I mean, you mentioned a while ago, like, how many things of the world we've got into because of those kind of like somebody was tweaking the system and just like went overboard, like,
yeah,
that's how the Titanic sunk and we ended up with the Federal Reserve, or that's how the Lusitania thing happened, the false kind of flag with that. And then we ended up in World War I, or the Gulf of Tonkin, and we ended up in Vietnam, where we know for sure that was a false flag because of the Pentagon Papers.
Exactly.
And I mean, can we just stop doing that? Imagine if we just stopped doing that.
Man, it's crazy.
Like, shit, can we just stop?
I mean, it's simple, but like, what's funny? It's funny. You said, you mentioned something about the Titanic. Have you ever heard the kind of like theory story about
that it wasn't the Titanic?
No, not that it wasn't the Titanic. I was reading something a couple weeks back, and it mentioned something about saying how the Titanic, they said that there was a bunch of pretty much big political figures that had this kind of outlook and just, this plan that they had kind of went against the grain.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it wasn't with the plan. So they said to themselves, well, how can we get all of these people, how can we get them all in one spot and we can do something detrimental? Mm-hmm. So, they said they made the Titanic and it was meant to be sank, you know what I mean? Because of, the Titanic was, I don't know if people know about Titanic, but like back then it was a new thing. So you have to think political figures, everybody with real money, like, what I mean? That had real money and any type of status back in the day, they were going to be on it was their job to be on that boat.
It was like the Blue Origin.
Exactly.
Like if that Blue Origin thing was bigger,
it'd
be everybody that was on that.
Exactly.
And that's the kind of next thing where you got to watch out for.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. So they said that they did that to get them all on there and, do something to the boat, probably might have even hit an iceberg. It could have been a bomb that went off. You know what I mean? Somebody hit a bomb right on the bottom and then
or sabotage. I mean, or they just told them that it could do it and it couldn't. They knew damn well it couldn't.
They're like, this is indestructible steel, but it's only an inch thick. But y'all didn't even know.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I will sell you this car and I can guarantee that if you hit a wall at 90 miles an hour, you'll go right through it.
No, that's telling them, take this car, but for the love of God, don't check the Carfax, okay? Because if you do, we're going to get sued. You know what I mean? Yeah, they knew what they were doing for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So that whole thing, and that to me makes sense. You know what I mean? If you got a bunch of people that aren't with your plan, because it's a shame that it is this way, but it's only a handful of people that run things in this world. You know what I mean? That everything, when things go against the grain, these handful of people do these things that are, detrimental to us. But, so it's
that
just,
handful though.
Yeah, the handful is dangerous. God damn.
We all know about that handful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, and I just don't know how can you go against that though? Like it is basically these people that live in shadow. They live in shadow.
Oh yeah.
And it's families that live in shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And they're completely protected. And you can vote for this person, or you could vote for that person, but it's like those are both approved by those guys.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like,
so what are you really doing? It's the illusion.
Yeah, it's an illusion. And see, that's the people that goes down to the fear thing. Like people most people will believe anything that you tell them. You know, that's why like with me, like I'm glad that I like kind of have the mind that I do, because like people tell me things, but like I say things back, which gets people to kind of gets them to stutter, and that makes me feel like, okay, that makes me feel better about me asking you the question, because you really don't know, and I don't know either. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean. So that just proves to show that, like, why does it have to be different? You know what I mean? I feel like that's the big thing, is the difference. Everybody wants it to be a difference. It's like, there's no difference. There's no, you know what I mean? It's like, there's me and you right here.
Right.
Like, there's no difference between us. We're both children of God. It doesn't have anything to do with color or anything of that nature.
It's like a Marine's gun.
Exactly.
There are many like it, but this one is me.
But this one is me. You know what I mean? And you don't want to know what it can do. You know what I mean? It's a machine, for the love of God.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Kind of are, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, people, man, we got to get back intact to, like, I feel like it's just like so much separation. But it's Halloween. And even I feel like people might put that like look upon it as like a satanic thing, but no, I feel like Halloween brings people together.
Yeah,
people like to come and party, and adults come and look at us wearing outfits, and you know what I mean. It's
I'm in a onesie.
Me too. Me and you are both in a onesie right now. We're grown men, for the love of God.
I could not get out of this.
Listen,
if I had to pee, I have to go inside and have my wife help me, because the zipper's on the back.
Oh, thank God mine's is in the front.
Yeah.
But it's only halfway, so I still got to come out of halfway of everything just to piss. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, stuff like that, man. It's like, man, I feel like these are the type of things, like, man, I'm always with things that bring people together, man. It's just like, it don't have to be a bad thing. Like, you know what I mean? This is all good stuff. Like, and I love dressing up and doing, you know, this type of shit to me is like,
when do I get to do it?
Like, when do I get to do this? This is like fun. Like, even if I'm like, I got grandkids, for the love of God. Like, I love, like, I might wear this tomorrow and walk around the neighborhood with while, you know what I'm saying, trick or treat with my grandkids.
Hell yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So just stuff like that. It's like cool. You know what I mean? I still get to live and be myself. You know what I mean? So I feel like people got to harness that type of energy and that, you know what I mean, that type of vibe, to where we can, you know what I mean, man, that's what it's really all about. Like,
a lot of people get stuck on things that they hear or things that they see, and not necessarily things that they experience.
Yes.
And it's and they miss out on the now. Right. So I actually talked to this guy a little while ago, and he was always talking about, like, that was a different person when you did that. You were a different person then. You're a different person 5 minutes ago. You are the now. Everything happens then in the now.
In the now, yes.
This is where life exists in just this one instant.
Yes.
You know? And so it puts things into perspective, because it's true. I mean, all you can really control is now. And I had another guy that I talked to, and he was like, you know, a lot of the stuff that you see on the news, a lot of that is you can let it affect you, or you could let it not affect you and still live your life.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about the 3-eye atlas thing and morphic resonance, and why are these other things not being talked about? But then, well, want to talk about that ballroom.
Yeah.
I mean, where else are they going to hold balls?
Yeah.
In the Oval Office, like they usually have been?
Yeah, for real. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the way to do it.
God, man, it's crazy.
You know, we're talking about all these things, like, that don't matter, and we have this 3-eye atlas out there.
Yeah.
Or we have all this other
a lot
thing.
of people probably aren't even really aware about. That I mean, they talk about it, but I feel like things of real importance never get the real, you know, like, it never gets the exposure that it should. Like, 3-eye atlas thing, like, if it's like the things that I've been looking up about it, if it's what you guys say, it should be plastered on every single station every single day, because you guys are telling me that at first you had something that sped up, then it slowed down.
Yeah, that's what happened at Independence Day.
Exactly. What are we? That's what I'm saying.
Where's Jeff Goldblum?
Are they coming back? Well, yeah. Where's Jeff Goldblum? Because what did you read? We need those texts so we can figure out what's going to happen next. You know what I mean?
And I want Chris Rock to be the next one.
Come on.
Not Will Smith.
Yes. No. Yes. We need Chris so we can have it more authentic. Okay.
Yeah. I want him to slap an alien.
Man, come on.
You know, get him back.
It's not believable with Will Smith and then him saying "Welcome to Earth." Pissed me off.
You know, they made a second one. You know, they made an Independence Day sequel, like Independence Day Resurgence or something like that. It came out like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
Like a couple of like the new actors are in it. Like I couldn't tell you who they are.
Yeah, but some of the new actors.
It's not Will Smith anyway. But but he decided not to be in it.
It's Will Smith's son, probably.
Not even.
Little kid.
Not even.
Okay.
No, it's like none of the Smiths are in it, but they all of a sudden just this not like a newscast comes on, is like Captain Hillard died in a testing accident, blah blah. And it's just his picture and boom. And then they write off his character. It's like,
wow,
dude, that's all the screen time he gets.
That's all I was worth. I saved Earth, and you guys give me this. Yeah, that's insane.
It has to do with like them reimagining that alien technology, like re-engineering it, as if that F-18 wasn't really also re-engineered alien technology from some time.
Man. Listen, you guys showed us in the 90s that you went into an alien craft. That alone tells me that something is already, you know what I mean? It's like, come on now. Like, I was like, when I seen that, I was like, okay, you guys are in it. And then we go off and doing this, and the third. All right, man. You know what I mean? You guys, I see the hokey doke.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? You're not going to get me with it. You know what I mean? But, hey, it was nice. But, you know, I didn't know that they made a new one and did all of that. You know what I mean?
Don't get excited. Don't get too excited.
I'm not.
It's not really, you're going to get disappointed.
No, yeah. I don't think I'm going to watch it. I'm probably just going to bypass it.
Couple previews.
Yeah,
you got
previews and just get it out the way, the pain and the agony, and just be like, okay, thank God I wasn't there.
I mean, it is kind of a bummer that you know, that they did it that way. But what do you expect?
I mean, right. The shit's, I mean, I feel like the people making movie nows, we had better hope in the 80s with the people that were, I feel like people that were making movies in the 80s were actually reading things. I feel like now people are making movies off of like dreams and like, I don't know what it's coming from. You know what
I don't even know if it's that. I think it's just,
it's like,
they're regurgitating old shit.
They're chat GPTing how can I make a movie? That's the worst part. You can do that. We can get on chat GPT right now and say, what's the best way to make a movie? And it's going to give me a full breakdown.
Yeah.
So that, like, I just seen a kid, like, he graduated, and when he graduated, he had a thing, like, it was chat GPT, like, basically showing how he cheated. He was like, yeah, that's how I graduated. 3.5 chat GPT. So I'm like, we're doomed. So like, I don't know what his profession was, but God forbid the people that need his help. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you just chat GPT that you don't even know what you're doing.
Hopefully it was like gender studies or something.
God.
So I want to switch gears a little bit.
Okay. I like that.
In the Halloween spirit. So in the line of work that you do, do you ever come across some pretty violent crime scenes, right?
Yeah.
Especially when like some that are like at a house, you know, whether somebody takes their own life or takes the life of whoever's there. Do you ever think when you go in there, do you ever think like, oh yeah, this house is gonna be haunted?
Oh, you know what? I don't think I've never thought that per se, but I've been in some situations to where when I got there, you can kind of feel a dark cloud. You know what I mean? Is
that just the cloud of death, you think? Or is it something else?
I think so, but I think it determines the how the death went. If you know what I mean. Like per se,
like an unclean death.
Yes.
Almost.
So one that I felt kind of uneven about. There was a lady, it's a lady. She had got killed by her boyfriend, I believe. But it was crazy because he like shot her and dragged her through the house. So you can see the like blood drag mark like through the, from the garage to inside the house. With, you know what I mean? So like, and when I like, so we, I get to the scene and I'm like, you could see it, and you become a detective at that point because
right.
you're
you can't
looking
help
around.
It.
Yeah, you can't help it because it's like you're trying to figure out what happened yourself before you even ask the police. So I see it and I'm like, I see the drag marks and I'm like, damn. So I'm like, he must have shot her in here and then dragged her from the garage all the way into like the living room where she died. I don't know if he shot her again in there or what, but just like that one, I was like, because like, I think what it was like, because I started in the garage, but then I had to gradually work my way to the end point. So I would like, as I was cleaning, I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, like this dude really dragged her. Like, and like, it's crazy because like, even it's like blood footmarks too. Cause he's stepping in blood, you know what I mean? And just like making his mark too. And like, it's just like a smear blood mark across the carpet and shit. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, oh, I was like, what was he on? Like, you know what I mean? I be trying to think, I'm like, what were you?
Put yourself in like the
I'm
mind.
Like trying to put myself in the mind. I'm like, bro, well, what were you? I was like, I know love is a motherfucker, but god damn, like, what were you like? How good was it? Like, you know what I mean? Goddamn, but everybody got their reason, but you know what I mean? But yeah, like that's probably like was the craziest one because like when I was cleaning it, like it just felt kind of like a little bit weird. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm like, man, it probably only felt weird because I was doing the scenario. I was doing this scenario as I was putting it together as I was cleaning it. So, you know what I mean? So that to me, like, I usually don't do that. Usually I'm just like cleaning.
And then you think about it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about it afterward. But I'm putting it together as I was like, because I'm going along the hallway from the garage to the hallway to the, you know what I mean? Going off to the living room. And I'm like, God damn, like this, I'm like, what was going on? Like, I'm like, how much did you love her? Like, what did she do? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? These are things I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, because I'm like, I would never. Like, you know what I mean? This is what I'm thinking. Like, God
how
damn.
bad can you make a sandwich?
Exactly. How bad was that sandwich? Are you allergic to pork and she made ham and you requested turkey or what? Like, God. But yeah, it was, man, it's a crazy situation. But, I mean, being in it so long, you see so much stuff. Like, I've came across ones where, like, I found, like, the police didn't even find it, like, piece this big of a skull.
Oh.
Like, literally, like, and, like, I'm picking it up, and I'm like, and, like, that kind of was trying to trip me because I'm like, fuck, I just have to throw it away in this black bag that I'm, you know what I mean? Like, that I'm throwing the rest of the trash away. I'm like, this is a human skull.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, am I going to hell for this or what? Like, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? But, I do it and I'm just like, I know it's not that, but I just like, I try to be logical about the situations that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, sometimes it'd be hard. The worst part I think is like, I never want the family to be there. Or like anybody of the family to be there because that makes it hard for me because then I'm like, you can like when you walk up, you can never be like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Because you know it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
I'm fucking dreadful.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to ask you. I know how you're doing. Like, I don't even want to I can't even say that. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you greet them? So it's just like, I just be like, hello. You know what I mean? I don't even be like, I don't follow it with a, how are you? You just have to be like, hello. You know what I mean? And stern on that. Just like, you know what I mean? And just, you have to accommodate them. So being knowledgeable about that, because if you don't do that and then you think about it later, it'll fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? It'll fuck you up because you'll be like, damn, how did they feel when I was saying, you know what I mean? Like, how did this person feel when I said, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Knowing that you just lost whoever, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you gotta be careful and you gotta be, knowledgeable. But it took probably about 2 years for me to learn that and, knowing how to navigate it. But then once I did it and then, I came into the situation, hey, how are you? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just
I guess, I mean, the biggest probably red flag would be like, if you go in there and the family's in there and there's a dead body and you ask them, how you doing? And you're like, well, the Jets lost again.
Yeah.
Like
if you hit me with that, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm like, well, shit.
Why
so did my Niners. I'm like, so did my Niners. Goddamn.
I know. I didn't know you were a Niner fan.
Come on, man. I told you this every episode. I told you I'm a Niner fan. Listen. Oh
yeah. I mean, it's
I'm
a tough
proud
time.
of us. It's tough time, but for what it's worth, I'm proud of us for how we've been doing.
I mean, it's kind of extraordinary.
It's legendary.
5-3 right now. I think
5-3. We still playoff bound. We can. I mean, I feel like with this quarterback, he can do things, and I'm proud of them. To be honest, he's almost making Purdy look bad.
It's almost like Christian McCaffrey was so prone to injury for all that for like a couple years ago or whatever. Yeah, he couldn't play a game without getting hurt. But now he's in all the games. He's got a good role in all the games. And
140 yards every game. Yeah. So it's like,
but it's also like, did somebody get a genie and was like, I wish that Christian McCaffrey would be healthy, but he's really sucking the health out of everybody else.
Yeah.
Is that the thing?
Hey, for real.
Is that the trade-off?
I always thought that. Who has the San Francisco voodoo doll?
Yeah.
And they're just poking the shit out of him like
Colin Kaepernick has it.
Oh God.
His girlfriend has it.
You know what? And the Lord strikes again. You've never lied. I'm telling you. Colin Kaepernick, he's like, yeah, y'all gonna do me like that all the years. Watch how when y'all think y'all doing good.
I mean,
yeah,
but we're the only team you played for. I mean, at least get the Broncos or the Raiders because they didn't sign you.
Well, he don't even got to get the Raiders. The Raiders gonna do it to themselves.
The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders
That's
right now is just like, God, and so I feel so bad because my daughter's my son-in-law, his favorite team is the Raiders, and he's making my grandson a Raider.
Oh,
so it's like, oh damn it!
My brother-in-law is making my nephew a Raider.
Yeah,
too,
so I was just like, I seen some old tight baby Frisco gear, and I'm like, God damn it! I can't even buy it for my grandson because I gotta respect.
Why? You can't do both?
Well,
He's your son-in-law, right?
Yes, my son-in-law,
but your daughter is
my daughter, but she's a Raider fan with him.
Oh no!
So yes, so that's where I got that's where I'm like, and I said, you grew up, you was a Raider, you was a goddamn Niner fan. What the hell? I said, how you gonna just get with him and just switch ships? I'm like, that don't even make sense. But okay, I'll give it to you. You know what I mean? So she you know what I'm saying? I'm like, out of respect for her, I'm like, I don't want to, you know what I mean, change anything. And I don't want them to be like, oh, he bringing Frisco gear into the house. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I buy him anything, God forbid, it's going to be horrible, but it's going to probably be some Raider gear. You know what I mean? But I'm doing it in grandpa faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when I met my wife, I was working for the Niners at the time, but like I met her and she was like, what do you do? because we just met at this record store, then we decided to go get drinks. And so like, what do you do? I was like, oh, I work for the 49ers. And we were in San Francisco.
Okay.
I work for the 49ers. Are you a fan? She's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
No.
Are you,
Like,
what do you,
oh,
she's like,
shit.
I'm a Raider fan. I was like, oh. So then I bought a
Cringe.
Raider. I bought a Raider onesie, a couple Raider onesies, and a couple Niner onesies.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom like cut them in half and sewed the Raider to the 49er.
Yeah, made it half and half.
And so when we brought the kids home, they were each in like a half and half one.
Hey, that is classic.
Neither one of them like the Raiders though, right now. So, but it was the thought that counts.
Yes.
You know?
Listen, you did them right. You gave them a chance.
They had a chance.
They took the right route.
I mean,
you can't blame them.
I said, do you want the red pill or the blue pill? And
Listen,
they took the red one.
They took the red one. Damn it. Listen, they took a choice. That's all it is. Hey, look, that's a beautiful thing. That's so cool. I've always said that, like, I want to do something like that, like do like a half and half like jersey, you know what I mean? Just to give them a chance and then let them figure out for their, you know what I mean, on their own.
Like a Jerry Rice jersey, right
Yeah.
down the middle.
Right down the middle.
You know?
What I mean? You could do Raiders, Niners. You know what I mean?
He was the same. He was 80 in both,
Yeah,
right?
he was 80 in both, for sure.
Same name,
Yeah,
same number,
same number.
Boom.
Cut that thing. Crazy thing is, my mom, she's been sewing since I was a child. So like, she can like, I called her yesterday and she was like beading and making a bracelet and doing like, so she's like very crafty. She does all that type of shit. So like, I could send her something, have her make me something.
That's
like,
what you got to do for the grandkid.
yeah, for sure. For like, she like when I first had like my first grandbaby, when I had it, like she made them like beanies and little onesies, like knitted onesies and
so
shit.
it's great grandma.
No,
It's the kids. Well, it's got to be. If it's your grandkid,
Yes,
your mom
oh,
is
God, fuck.
great grandma.
bruh. It's great grandma.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is great grandma. So goddamn.
Damn.
Yeah, this is great.
that's a
grandma.
great thing, though.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
know?
thing. I didn't even think about that, man. Yeah, it's great grandma. That's crazy. It
And that's
is.
one of the beautiful things about having kids when you're kind of young and not necessarily ready for it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like you can be that young dad. You could be and be a young grandpa or like,
Yeah.
and then all the kids like they experience all these other generations. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the grandpa is not 90 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You're
exactly.
otherwise. I mean, I don't know. Black don't crack, so
Yeah,
you could be 90. I
no,
don't know.
Shit. No, well, I mean, we're talking. I'm 40,000 years old. If we're talking here, but in human years, I'm 41.
In stellar
okay?
years. Yeah, in stellar cycles.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And imagine on what dimensions we're talking here. But you know what I mean? Yeah, no, yeah. But man, that shit, man, I love that shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even like being a grandpa and shit like that, man. It's like, because like I always thought about it. Like I was like, man, I'm so young. I was like, because when I first became a grandpa, I was fucking I was 39. You know what I mean? When I first became a grandpa, so I was like, I'm young. I'm like, I'm not even 40. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. I'm like, y'all didn't wait no goddamn time. Like, you didn't even give me a chance. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But when it happened, I was like, man, that shit is like a blessing. Like, cause you know what I'm saying? Having them kids is like, and it's cool because like my wife, she does daycare. So both of my grandbabies come to the house for daycare. You know what I'm
hell
saying?
yeah.
So I get to see them every day. You know what I mean?
Put
And
on old Niners reruns with Joe Montana.
oh yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try to give her. It's funny because it's funny you say that. Yesterday, my grandson was at the house. He was tripping downstairs, and I was like, all right. I was like, I'm gonna take him, and I took him. And when I took him up there, like I was playing. I typed in YouTube. I was like 49er great games.
Yeah.
And it was just showing hella clips from the 49er great games, and he was loving that shit. I was like, yeah. You know, your daddy ain't gonna know you're gonna be a Niner.
You show him that clip of Steve Young stumbling for like 3 minutes straight.
Yeah, that was in there. It's funny because it was like great. It was like a 15-minute clip. Like it was so much shit in there, but that was in there. Like that's one of my all-time clips. I think
clip, man. He got a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown on the same play because he passed it to him to somebody and it bounced off their helmet. He caught it. And he ran it in.
Yeah.
You don't see that.
Right, look. You don't see that now. Like nobody like, and it's a lot of good quarterbacks actually right now.
Yeah.
Like, in the league. Like I was just talking to my friend about that. I was like, man, we got good quarterbacks. It's not like even if they don't have a good team, we have good quarterbacks that's out there in the NFL right now. You know what I mean? I mean, Jordan Love is a good one. You know what I
he's
mean?
killer.
Yeah, he's killer. You know what I mean? Jordan Love's a good one. And oh man, you know. My boy, he'll probably, he's probably gonna praise me for saying that because he's a Packers fan. So
it's an easy time to be a Packers fan.
Yeah, it's an easy time to be a Packers fan. That's what I say. But the cool thing I seen with Jordan Love when they just played the Steelers, he's sitting he idolizes
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah,
that's like his idol. And after the game, both of them was like, "Oh man, I love you, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying? Good thing.
Trade jerseys.
Trade jerseys. Yeah. Keep doing your thing. Like that to me is like, that's like what it's about. Like, I don't care what's going on, where you at. If you're doing that type of stuff, you've made it in life. Like, you know what I mean? He
went into that game like, win or lose, I'm gonna get this guy's jersey.
Yeah.
I obviously want to win.
Yeah,
and he did.
Yeah,
but like, win or lose, I'm gonna get this guy's jersey. This is the number one dude. I want to get this jersey.
It's his last year. That you know that he's gonna be in the NFL. You're gonna put that in a frame that's gonna be worth millions.
But it doesn't matter
for your kids.
To him, it's worth a single dollar.
Yeah,
because he's never gonna sell it anyway.
He's never gonna sell it.
You know
exactly. If you sell it, your kids are gonna sell it because it'll be worth something then. But he knows that, like, look, this is more show of honorship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I respect you. You're my mentor. You're the person that I respect. And like, you know, I'm gonna honor you no matter where you at. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's gold right there. You know what I mean?
That's what the sport is supposed to teach kids.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and we focus on the CTE and thing, which we should.
Yeah.
But you know, but like that was the only sport that I ever liked playing. Yeah. And, you know, soccer sucked. Bunch of running. Baseball sucked. It was boring because I was in the outfield, crouched like this, just looking for frogs.
Yeah.
You know, basketball, I only played that at school with my friends, and all I did was get rebounds.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I'm the guy that'll get the rebound aggressively, and I'll pass it to you. I don't want to shoot.
I'm not very good at
shooting.
Basketball was never my athletic ability. I was a football player, so that was my thing. So, you know what I mean? Basketball, like I used to tell people, don't even ask me to play. And if you do, don't pass me the ball because I'm just going to pass it back.
Right.
Okay? I'm just giving it right back to you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even have the dribbling capability.
And in basketball, there's a lot of pressure from your own teammates. Like, you fucked it up.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen in football.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, unless you're a receiver that just drops the thing.
Yeah. Like, everybody's all responsible for everything. Like, you
have one job.
Is that you have one job. Unless, like, a receiver drops, like, a touchdown pass, that's on you. You know what I mean? So, other than that, it's all on everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless you catch that interception, then it's like,
yeah.
And then your life flashes before your eyes, and you're like, what? Run, Josh, run.
Yeah. Get him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get out of there. Go.
Yeah. That is funny.
Run, you know, it's wild. But like I say, it's the CTE thing is what's going to really kill the sport, you know, so you got to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's like, man, it's never ending. It's like, there's like, you can make anything off that old CTE thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can make it look as realistic as ever. So it's like.
Well, and if you look back at football, it's funny though, because if you look back at those old timey footballs where they have like that leather helmet.
Yeah.
You know, they got less CTE, I am assuming then, because of the cushion, right? And because the guys in there were like, you know, it wasn't the kind of guy that's like, I'm going to train every second of my life for this sport. It was like, yeah, I'm going to drink a beer when I'm on the bench.
Yeah,
you know,
real.
It was like that. And that's kind of what that sport was meant to be. I don't think it was meant to host the top of the top athletes, because now you've got a bunch of glass cannons in there.
Yeah.
You know, where otherwise you could have had like some dude that was pretty good. That was like, I don't know, he grew up on a ranch or something.
Yeah, for real.
You know, and he's just like one of those offensive linemen that, you know, nobody could push this guy over. You know, but now everybody is so hyper athletic that there's a bunch of bullets flying, you know, rather than just marbles rolling at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I don't know. I mean, it's not that interesting to me to see somebody run like 22 miles an hour rather than like people at a just one level lower.
Yeah.
That can take those injuries and they have that a little layer of fat on them. Mm-hmm. You know, and maybe they get gassed out. So maybe the solution to the CTE problem is to maybe not double, but like add to the roster.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not 53 man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a 75 man.
I mean, come on. I mean, you need, I mean, I feel like now injuries have been, for the past 5 years, I feel like injuries have been more and more prone.
Injuries have ruined the game.
It's ruined the game.
Extent, yeah.
So it's like, so if you know that you have that, we have to have an extensive backup plan. Mm-hmm. And the old school 1, 2, and 3 roster is dead.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You have to get rid of that whole old aspect. Like, you need and it's not like you guys don't have the money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys do. Come on.
Yeah, you guys got the money.
If anybody has the money, it's you
now.
and
Exactly.
FIFA.
Come on. You guys run the goddamn sports entertainment business. So you have the money. So do that. Pay these guys a little bit extra and, you know, get a couple extra guys. They may not play 6, 7 games. Mm-hmm. But then when that guy gets hit or whatever, you know, do you have somebody that's reliable?
That knows your playbook.
That's been doing it day in and day out, dedicated, you know what I mean? That will play for you. Mm-hmm. So that's what you want. And I feel like we got to build on that because now it's just like a franchise damn money board. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, well, if I can get traded, I ain't even going to play if I can get traded over here and get this. Like, what do you mean, bro? Like, your job is your job.
Well, one thing that you can say about the current 49ers roster is they seem set on staying 49ers.
Yes.
You know, like Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle.
Yes.
Maybe Nick Bosa, but definitely Fred Warner. Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean, the only thing that I that one guy who left last year, Tenla Hufunga, who that was the guy whose kid died, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with that area, probably.
For sure.
So that's fine. He can leave. Yeah. He can go.
We take nothing from you. You know what I mean?
Like,
we understand.
I wouldn't wish shot.
Yeah, we understand your pain and like, we want you to heal however you need to. Mm-hmm. That, you know what I mean? So we understand that.
Yeah. But like a lot of those people seem to be like, yeah, I want to be a 49er, you know? And then you get like that kicking situation. Wow, this guy is good, huh? Pinheiro. And he's good. He's like an interesting enough guy to talk to. He's like, yeah, my dad's never going to work again.
I'm so glad we got rid of Moody.
Wow, Moody, yeah. And then he's like killing it with the Bears.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, well, how the fuck you go to them? I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like that'd be like individual. Maybe he was mad and done. Remember, I feel like he was missing them bitches on purpose. You wanted to get fucking traded at that point.
We have 6 Super Bowl rings if it's not for him.
We got
revenge on the Chiefs if it wasn't for him.
Exactly. I mean,
Taylor Swift would have shed tears if not for him.
Yeah, she should have broke up with him the next day if it wasn't for that goddamn kick. So they better be thanking us for their relationship.
For real. I mean, we should almost get royalties because we had such shit kicking.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, we made you guys. We gave it to you pretty much on a platter at that point. You know what I mean? So it's like, got to get it right. You know what I mean? Something has to happen.
Well, I mean, they play this weekend, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it was a detrimental loss, but I knew we were going to lose that game, to be honest, because I just how we were playing.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, things were going wrong constantly. Yeah,
you can tell with the Niners, you can tell when it's like, oh, instead of watching this game, I'm going to fold laundry.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, when it's like, especially too, the fucked up thing is when that happens, I'm always somewhere where I'm fucking $30-$40 in and paid for some sushi and a couple of drinks, you know what I mean? And now I got to stay here. So it's like, fuck, It's like when you know nothing's gonna happen, it's like, well, fuck yeah, I might as well go home and just watch it at home, because if I stay here, I'm gonna spend some more money. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck that. Like, I might as well just go home. But yeah, they but I feel like, considering how things are going, all the injuries we have, I have no complaints about the Niners, because who else can you say? What other team can you? I don't feel like you could put any team in the NFL in our situation and they would do as good as we did.
No.
I don't see that.
Robert Saleh. That guy's a fucking stud, huh?
Yes, indeed.
I mean, Kyle is great, but Robert Saleh coming back, especially after all these injuries, and we're as good as we are.
Yeah.
Granted, if the offense lets the defense down, then the defense cannot. They don't have the stamina to hold up at this point. They can't hold up.
They can't.
Right? So the offense really has to put their into the bargain in, and they didn't the last game.
They didn't. Yeah. They really didn't.
But we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, but that was expected. I mean, and like you said, we can only expect from everything that we've expected from the Niners thus far. They've given us above and beyond what we've expected. You know what I mean? As far as the circumstances.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I feel like every game that they go into, and I feel like every game is giving our quarterback more and more confidence to be like, you know what? I am him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The shit. Fuck everybody else. I am him. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to worry about when whoever gets healthy, anything right now. This is like the best Any Given Sunday movie that you've ever seen in your life. You know what I'm saying? This is like right now we're watching Any Given Sunday. You know what I mean? It's like he's become Willie Beeman. You know what I mean? Pretty much in a sense.
Well, you know, I attribute it to more like Remember the Titans.
Yeah,
where the dude crashes Camaro.
I like that better.
And this is hurting for me too, because he crashes Camaro.
Yes, God,
you know that fucking Camaro.
What are you doing?
And that's where that movie was where I fell in love with Camaros. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like, oh wow, it doesn't have to be a Mustang.
Yeah,
it could be a Camaro. What does Camaro mean? Mm-hmm. It's a derivative of the word friend. Wow, man. Hell yeah,
for real.
You know, and then so like, and when the dude's in the hospital bed. And he goes to eat, and like Julius comes in, and he's like, "I was the Camaro." Ah, I would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
look, you know that he know that it's fucked up.
Yeah,
but that's your brother, so you got to be like, "How's the Camaro, bro?" I just got to ask you just to make sure. Just, you know what I'm saying? I know you're gonna tell me it's fucked up.
Tell me it'll buff right out.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm saying I just want to ask. So we lost Jennifer and the girls, right? Okay, I just wanted to know. Damn it! They're never gonna look at us and say. Hopefully they go to Clark. You know what I'm saying? They're far away from us, so we don't even have to. That is funny, man.
Well, always a pleasure to have you here.
Come on now, man. It's my pleasure to be here. Listen. I'm gonna this isn't the last one. I'll be back.
Actually, we gotta have you on pretty soon because we gotta have that Pontiac.
Yes.
Your 400.
Yes. No, it's a Impala.
Oh, it's a Chevy?
It's a 72 Chevy Impala that I have, a two-door 1972 two-door Chevy Impala. Yes, it overheated on me yesterday, man. I would have brought it here today. You guys wouldn't have been able to see it, but you know, these are the trials and tribulations of having an old school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are the things that you go through. So
welcome to Oz.
Exactly. Welcome to Oz. And I'm proud to be in it. So you know what I mean? It's a good thing. So, but next episode, yes, she will be available for you guys. Don't even worry.
What transmission you have in there?
A 400.
A TH400?
Yeah,
400 turbo?
TH400.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm putting in this, except it's a 4L80, so it's electronically controlled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I don't know why the hell I can't. It's been like every time I start, like it overheats. Like I don't know how to stop it from overheating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just trying to troubleshoot that right now and you know, and get my shit together. But it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I'm saying? We got the whole. My thing come January, I'll be fully functional, so I ain't tripping. You know,
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm gonna put the money into it, so it's good.
Hell yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, till next time.
Until next time, it was beautiful, sure. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Every time I'm here, man, I love it.
All right. Well, see you guys.
Yes, sir.
Happy Halloween.